Hello and welcome back to another episode of Be a Quirky Writer. Now, what I've got for you today is hopefully the first video within a series. You've seen in the 1950s, the Paris Review started this column, the W.a.W series, and no, we are not talking about World of Warcraft, we are talking about writers at work, where they interviewed some famous authors of the time, and these writers shared their personal views on writing and what they thought on their process. And given that this channel is dedicated to writing, I thought it interesting to analyze not all the articles or the interviews, because we're talking about probably even close to 200 interviews, but just to take some authors that I like more and analyze bits and pieces about what they say and share some personal views upon and elaborate on that. So what I will be basically doing is making a Paris review reviewed. Redundancy intended. Now, the first interview, the very first one actually, was in 1953, and we are talking about Forster. Now, Forster wrote A Room with a View, Howard's End, and other important books. And in the interview, between the many things that he has to say, he does have this idea that characters tend to lead the author through the story. So the story kind of develops itself and follows its own course, which I found it pretty interesting, a pretty interesting perspective. But at a certain point, the interviewer asks something differently, and it's about the names. And he is a bit perplexed because he says that some names come naturally, while others he had to think about them. And this is what I have for you today. This is the main topic that I have chosen because I think that names are very important within literature. I don't know, when you think about literature and you think about famous characters, what do you think about, right? You've got your Sherlock Holmes and your Professor Moriarty, you have Dorian Gray, Atticus Finch, you have Jane Eyre, Scarlett O'Hara, I don't know, Holly Golightly, Anna Karenina, Hannibal Lecter with Clarice Starling, you have that James Bond, that Sam Spade. I mean, for crying out loud, some authors even have their own name that's good. Think about Arthur Conan Doyle or Ian Fleming. They just sound good. They're just that good. If you think about it, even Tolkien, you have every single name that Tolkien created is just perfect. It just fits. You have, I don't know, even more in more recent literature, you would have your Harry Potters and your Percy Jacksons and Ezio Auditore da Firenze and It's a Me Mario. God damn it. Yeah, names are important. What I'm trying to say is that names are iconic. They give, and probably it's not just that names sound good and then people are attracted to them. It's probably even based on how a book actually got famous. So a book was important for some important aspects, and then the character grew on people. So their name became famous after the book got its fame, right? But to be fair and to make a counterpoint, there are also names that are just not that awe-inspiring or sounding or important. I don't know. Let's just say that I want to write a book and I just have a good story, but I don't have a name, and I just think, okay, I'll just name him Jim, plain old Jim. Well, you have Conrad with Lord Jim. To be fair, I didn't read Lord Jim. I just know the name of the book, so I don't know if there is a character that's called Lord Jim, but I would assume that there is, right? Or even think about something else. Think about Lolita, where you have Humbert. Yeah, that's not a good name. At least in my opinion, it's just like meh. Or even authors, for that matter. You would have someone like Jerome Klapka Jerome. I don't even know what's going on there. Is he has the first name, the surname, and then the second name, which becomes the first name. I have no idea. I am pretty much clueless, and I don't read biographies, so I would not know. So, where does that leave us? Well, we do say that names are important, right? Can names be avoided? Where there are certain schemata, certain ways of bypassing names. And I will give you a personal example. I hate giving names. I am not good at it. From time to time, one or two names pop in my head, and I just go, yeah, that's acceptable. But never that, oh, James Bond is just perfect. No, none of that. So at a certain point, I wrote a brief anthology of short stories, and I didn't have names for my characters. So what I did was, in a forward to the reader, write that I'm not good at giving names, but also I justified it by saying that, given the nature of the stories that I wrote in that anthology, they were basically encounters. So it was not important having a name for the character because the characters themselves could have been pretty much anyone. Poetic, maybe. Lazy, definitely. But again, it was a good way of bypassing the obligation to give a name. Now, that is pretty much all I have for you. Names are important, yes. If you don't agree, or if you do agree, please leave a comment, leave a like, whatever you feel, and let me know. Now, I hope to make other videos on the same topic, not on the topic of names, but the Paris Review Reviewed series. Hopefully you like them. See you next time. Don't forget to breathe, don't forget to smile. Those are important things. Have a nice one.